So I'm out here at the barn with my daughter, and I just had a thought. Because when I started taking her to horseback riding lessons when they were younger, I thought to myself, it's a sport. I mean, I was homeschooling them, and I needed to find an activity that would be. I wanted them to learn sports. I wanted them to have a hobby and a way to stay in shape. And I said to myself, I couldn't get them involved in sports because their dad would always have visitations on the weekends, and he wouldn't take them. So he said, no, those are my visitation days, and he wouldn't get involved in any of the, like getting them to and from, making sure they could even make practice. So there was no choice. I basically thought, well, how am I going to teach them, be a team player, to play on as a team as they grow up with other people? And so my one daughter, the oldest one, she loved dogs and she loved dancing. So I said, well, that's great. That's a great way to stay in shape. But still, it's not a team sport. And so I thought, well, we're going to do the best we can. I'm going to hope for the best. Teach them to be thoughtful and considerate. And my youngest one, she was obsessed with horses. So I today was just thinking about one specific person. Well, actually two. One of her instructors, one day she was having a bad day. She took it out on us, and we had to leave. And basically, she was just being very inconsiderate. And my daughter was getting her feelings hurt pretty bad because she was being pretty rough and inconsiderate. And I said, well, we're going to go. She says, well, now I know why she goes, your kids are going to be so screwed up. And I just looked at her, and she said it right in front of them. And I was like, where did you, and why? But I didn't want to know because I thought, this lady's a mess. And I just considered the source and thought, but still, it was in the back of my mind, like, what if they do get messed up because they're not on team sports, and all that stuff in my head as a homeschool mom, doing it by myself. Because when I reached out for help in the churches, all of the homeschool families were married. They were married, and I was the only single person out of like 3 different churches that we went to. And so I was not really accepted into those groups. And so I just did it all myself. And I was always in the back of my mind worried that they may be missing some education, that I couldn't always be consistent because I was taking care of my mom too. And I always had that in the back of my mind that this isn't enough, maybe it's not enough. And I was stressed about it. In fact, I even let my oldest daughter attend high school. I said, when you're ready, if you want to go to school, go to school. You can go to high school. And I let her go, and that's another story altogether. But I guess this one is about how don't listen to people. They don't know you. They don't know your life. They don't know the future. And if you listen to one person and your whole life is changed because you choose to do something that isn't best for you at that time, you could be destroying something that's actually already in process that could be a wonderful thing. And I say this because both of my daughters are amazing team players. And I know this because when my oldest daughter, Tabitha, she was involved in drama in school, she was voted I think she got top drama student of the year based on the fact that she made everyone feel like family when they came in every day. She never missed any work. When the teacher described who was winning the award, I was like, that sounds like my daughter. It really sounds like my daughter. And I was like, oh, she picked Tabitha. So I was really excited for her because she worked so hard. And it just was like, for me, a crowning moment, because not just for her, but it's for me, because all those times I sat worried and concerned that they weren't learning how to be a team player. They weren't learning. People would say to me at church, don't you want your kids to be involved in sports? Yeah, I did. And I couldn't. So we did the best we could. And I want to encourage you to not be so hard on yourself. If you're homeschooling your kids or deciding to, or thinking they're not getting enough of something, kids they just pick up on so many things, but they pick it up mostly by watching you. It's the truth. We think that they're not listening, and we think that they're not paying attention, but they are, because you are the most influential person in their life if you're their mom and dad. So just remember that and just enjoy, and don't get stressed out about if they're not reading enough, because that's another video I could share with you about how my daughter wasn't reading as quickly as everyone else, and I stressed out about it, and both of them became avid readers who love to read. Even to this day, that's what they love to do. So I'm just saying, lighten up, let it go, and don't listen to other people, especially people who will insult the way you're doing things. And even if they do know about things, even if you think that there's somebody who knows because they homeschool people, they homeschool or even teach homeschooling to people, it doesn't mean that they know how your life's going to turn out, or they don't know anything about your kids. You know them. So trust your gut and keep doing what you're doing. In love, be fun, and just be well-rounded and balanced in everything you teach them. And they're going to be great. Have a great day and take care of those little ones, but most of all, take care of yourself, because they're nothing without you. So remember to include yourself in the care that you give.